All right. All right. So I've switched locations in the apartment for the live today. I'm hoping that helps with a couple of the technical issues we've been having. I know the live's cut out a couple of times, so I apologize for that. As you tune in right now, make sure to share this live, tag someone in the comments that's going to need to hear this. We're talking today about building a weekly plan. And the reason that I wanted to bring this to you guys is because the lives of athletes are chaotic. And if you're here right now and you resonate with that, that you just feel like you have so much on your plate that you don't know how you can handle it all, make sure to drop a comment. Let me know that you resonate with that because trust me, I feel you. You are not alone. So if you're here right now and you resonate with that, make sure to let me know. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to get into it in about a minute, minute and a half. In the meantime, though, make sure to share this live stream with a teammate, share this live stream with a friend, with a coach, anyone who is going to need to hear this plan. Anybody who's going to need to hear this message, share it. Make sure to tag somebody. We want to reach as many people as we can with this show. But in about 30 seconds, we're going to get into it. Appreciate the people who are showing up already. Thanks for being here. And yeah, before we get into the show as well, one of the things I wanted to make sure that I am reinforcing is who we're looking for on these live streams. We are looking for athletes trying to reach the next level, athletes looking for the tips and tricks that they need in order to continue to push for higher and higher levels of sport. But let's get into the show now. So we are going to be talking about building a weekly plan. And let's get into it here in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Elite Development Podcast, the #1 show for athletes aiming to gain an edge on their opponents and build their dream careers in sport. I'm your host, Kenny Dusseault, and today we are going to be talking about building your weekly plan. So, athletes, as you tune into the show, I want you to let me know if this hits. I want you to let me know if this resonates. The reason that I want to talk today about building a weekly plan is because I talk to so many athletes that just have so much on their plates. They have so many things going on. They've got to train, they've got to work, they've got to balance family life, they've got to meal prep, they've got to do groceries, obviously, they've got to keep their home surviving. They have so many things on their plate at all times that things just sort of fall off. You know, they miss a training session, not because they didn't want to be there, but because they had 8 other things pop up in their day. Or, you know, they're making it to training, which is great. But if they're making it to training and then something at home slips, you know, that's also not good. And the constant pressure and the constant feeling of, you know, just having so much going on, having all these different things happening, that constant pressure just gets to be too much. And it's emotionally draining. It's physically draining, it's mentally draining, and in the turn, your progress as an athlete just starts to fall off. Now, if that resonates with you and you're here right now, drop a comment. Tell me that you feel me there, that you understand what I'm saying, you understand where I'm coming from, because if that resonates with you, this is going to be a great episode for you. Now, the aim of the episode today is to help you figure out how to organize that chaos. The aim of the episode today is to help you figure out how to deal with those feelings when they come up, how to deal with that struggle when you feel like you're just dealing with too much, how to organize it, and in turn, how to be able to continue to see higher level progress in your career. If that is something that you feel you need, make sure to stick around. Make sure to share this again with somebody as you tune in. So, the first thing that we're going to do, how we get you working past these struggles, how we get you working past that emotional, physical, mental drain of just constantly feeling like you have too much to deal with and not knowing how to deal with all the stuff you have going on. The first thing we're going to do is list out all your weekly tasks. So when I say that, it is as simple as what I just said. List out all your weekly tasks. So as we talk, I'm actually going to bring my calendar up. Unfortunately, I can't screen share it, but just to go over an idea of what I mean when I talk about the weekly tasks. So for myself as a business owner, as an example, my Monday, Well, we're Wednesday, so we're going to look through Wednesday. So at 5 a.m., I have my morning routine. At 6 a.m., I have my work morning routine. And then through the day, I have a podcast that I have to do. I have 2 live streams that I'm doing. As well, I have a time blocked out for coaching research. So this is, anything specific to programming for athletes, things like that I need to be working on. I have my workout listed out at 10 o'clock. So I'm on my way there after I do this. At 11 o'clock, I have a coaching session. At 12:30, I have time blocked off for training app cleanup. So that's just everything that I need to do within my own online training platform that I use with my athletes. And then from 1:30 to 4 o'clock, I have that as a miscellaneous block. So again, the reason I have that blocked into my calendar is because we know how life works. Things pop up. And when things pop up, now instead of going, oh shit, when am I going to be able to fit that in? How am I going to be able to deal with that? Now I have a time specifically for that. And if I don't have anything pop up, I have a list of other tasks and projects that I spend that time working on. And then 4 o'clock through to 7 o'clock, I have coaching time. And then at 7 o'clock, I have clock out. So the reason I went through that day for you guys today is because in order to build that schedule for yourself, you have to have an idea of what all of those weekly tasks are. So I went through a few of them here, but again, other tasks that need to be included in there: grocery shopping, meal prepping, making sure you're getting recovery time in. So having a clock out time every day, all of these little things are going to be and for athletes, training time is going to be one of the most crucial ones. And having those things blocked out, obviously there are some things that have a specific time during the week. There are others that won't have a specific time, but by adding them into the schedule and sticking to it like they do have a specific time, all you're going to do here is you're going to put yourself in a position where the chaos is more organized. And when I say the chaos is more organized, I know there's still going to be a lot going on, but you're at least going to have that understanding and knowledge that you're not missing anything within your week. So you're not going to have that day where you wake up in the morning and you go, oh shit, I have no idea how I'm going to fit all my stuff in because I missed these 3 things yesterday. Does that make sense? That you understand how that's going to keep you more organized as you move through your week? And then the next thing that I'm going to talk about is, because obviously this is how life works, things pop up. There are going to be days. I had that happen yesterday. I woke up in the morning. I had my day already planned out. Morning. I appreciate you tuning in. I had my day already planned out, but when I woke up in the morning, I had a bunch of extra things pop up. So now my day was thrown off. The plan that I actually had to work through in my day wasn't going to work the way it did. But instead of freaking out about it and not being sure how I was going to fit everything in, I knew what my plan was. And with the extra things that I had added in, I took 20 minutes. I sat down. I figured out where I was going to fit that extra work in. And in turn, what I was going to have to move to either later in that day or what I was going to have to move to a different day. So again, it's not that I wasn't busy. It's not that I didn't have a lot going on. I just had a plan of attack. And because I had the plan of attack, I was able to move through it easier. So as an athlete right now, if you're in a position where you constantly feel like you have too much to do, simply having that weekly plan written out first is just going to keep the chaos organized. You're going to keep yourself in a position where you understand everything that you have to do within your week. You're not sitting there worrying whether or not you're forgetting something. And in turn, you're able to make more progress faster, specific to your goals as an athlete, because you're never sitting and worrying about the things that you're missing at home. So when you have those weekly tasks listed out, the next step is actually fitting them into your week. So if you know, as an example, Monday is a crazy busy training day, that's probably not the day to include 7 other tasks in your week. But if you know that Tuesday is a little bit lighter when it comes to training, or you're off work a little earlier, that's the day you can throw in your grocery shopping. That's the day you can throw in your meal prepping. That's the day you throw in doing laundry. Those little tasks being thrown in on the lighter training days allow you to, again, stay more organized, and in turn, allow you to move forward faster. And if you're sitting here thinking every single day is chaotic, every single day has a ton going on, and I don't have a day that I can throw stuff like that in, that is when we need to look at your training schedule and figure out what day you can take out. Because again, I understand training is important. I'm never going to sit here and say it's not. But if you're training so much that you can't survive as a human being outside of that, that's a whole other conversation. And we got to make sure we're working on that. But getting back to what we were talking about. So when you have those weekly tasks listed out, now you're adding them into your week. You're figuring out what makes sense to do on what day. And as you're adding those into your calendar, think about the time allotted for each task. So when it comes to grocery shopping, as an example, you don't want to leave 30 minutes for grocery shopping if you live 15 minutes away from the store, right? So think about not just the time that you actually need in order to complete the task, but think about transportation time, think about any preparation time, anything like that. So in my calendar, where I have grocery shopping, I have an hour and 15 minutes, I believe, blocked off. I'd have to double check that. But I also have notes in that block in my calendar saying, make the list, go to whatever store I'm going to, pick those things up, drive home, put those things away. And I have that all listed out, even though that's super simple. That way, every day when I get to that task, I don't have to think, oh shit, am I missing anything? I sit down, I open up my calendar, it tells me the 5 things I need to do, and I get to it. So again, the day is busy, the day can be chaotic, but the day stays organized. And because the day stays organized, I stay in a better mental place. I get more done within my week. So now when you have that weekly calendar allotted, you've built in all the tasks you need through your week. I want to get into 2 other important pieces of information here. When you have that weekly calendar allotted, you've built out your weekly plan, you know what tasks you're doing on what days. The first thing I want to reinforce is this is a rough estimate. Because again, things are going to pop up. You're going to wake up some days and you're going to have 2 to 3 extra things that you need to take care of. But instead of throwing the plan to hell and saying, nope, not going to work today, sit down with your weekly plan, sit down with your daily plan. And from there, you can figure out what you can add into that day. Depending on what you can add into that day, you might have to move something to another day, but have that all planned out within your week. So again, you're never hitting that day where things just feel too crazy. And if you're never hitting that day where things just feel too crazy, you're able to consistently make more progress and in turn, keep yourself in a better mental headspace. I just saw a question come in saying, is it hard to stay consistent? Absolutely, it's hard to stay consistent. And that's actually bringing me perfectly into the next point that I was going to make, which is as you understand that this weekly calendar is a rough estimate and you're not forcing yourself to stick to it rigidly, as time goes on, your life is going to change. And as your life changes, reevaluate this calendar, reevaluate this weekly plan that you have. And the more you can consistently reevaluate it and make changes to fit your life, the more you're going to be able to stay consistent with it. Where I struggled for a long time is I would make the weekly plan, but then when I would make the weekly plan, I would go off of it for a day or 2, and then I'd just throw it all to hell, and then life would be chaos for a few months. Whereas now, when I can't actually stay consistent with it for whatever reason, instead of just saying, fuck it, I'm out, I figure out what small changes I can make to continue to be able to push forward. Because you want to be able to stay consistent. It's better that you're not getting as much done in your day, but you're getting that stuff done every day than getting a ton of work done one day, burning yourself out and not doing anything for a week. You get what I'm saying? And so when the stuff comes up, when you're thrown off of your plan, the biggest thing I want to reinforce is first, that this plan can change, this plan can adapt. And second, that it is more important to be able to stay consistent and continue to move forward than it is to have the plan that is incorporating more and more stuff. So if you can consistently move forward each and every week, you're going to continue to make progress. If you can continue to make progress, then you're going to continue to push forward both as an athlete and as a human being. So as we wrap up, we're in the last couple minutes here. As we wrap up, I wanted to reinforce as well that the reason I'm getting into this is because I understand if you're competing in a sport, mentally, you want to grind all the time. You want to be pushing yourself harder, harder, harder. But you need to understand that you're a human first. You need to understand that even if you're a high level athlete, even if you're competing around the world, even if you're a beast, bro, whatever you want to say about yourself, even if that's all true, you're a human being first. And if you're grinding all the time, but you're coming home to an apartment that is an absolute shit show, and you're coming home to a life that is disorganized, and you don't have any meals ready, and you're always struggling with those life aspects, not necessarily the training aspects, you're still going to run into trouble in your training. Because if your life is disorganized, you're not going to be able to truly put everything you can into every training session. And in turn, you're not making as much progress as you could. So I understand that you want to grind. I understand that you want to push. I get you. I feel you. I'm a business owner. I'm a high achiever myself. These are all things that I want to be doing as well. But life needs to be organized first. The human needs to be taken care of in order for the athlete to thrive. So that is it for me. I hope you guys took something away from this. I hope this all makes sense. My one ask for you as we wrap up the podcast today is to go leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. As well, share this show with a friend, with a teammate, with anybody that is going to need to hear this message. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. I'll talk to you all again very soon.